Hello, friends. Welcome to Squared Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be doing a flip through of all of my After the Pen spreads from February. I'll be very quickly going through it this time. I usually take my time and go through it real slow, but I think today we're just going to do a real fast-paced video. We'll see if you guys like that a little bit more. I will kind of flip through my planner setup, but I won't really go into details. So you'll just kind of see an overview of how my planner is currently set up in this one planner system that has multiple planners within it. If you want any details as far as the inserts that I'm using, or if there's any kind of like DIY projects in here that I call out, do check the video description below. I will have all of the videos that I can think of down there. And then if there's something that you want more info on and you don't see it, just reach out in the comments and I'll be happy to give you guys the details. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm using a half-letter Discbound planner, and I DIY'd this cover. I have it on expander rings. I have a library card here at the front for tracking my reading log. This sticky dash, which has a couple of pockets here. I also have my 6-tab system here on the side. This divides up my planner into 6 distinct sections. And at the top, I have top tabs that I use to navigate through my planner. Recently did a daily routine video if you kind of want to see how that flows in my daily routine. And at the bottom, I also have another set of tabs for long-term storage. So I have my inbox here. In this section, I have my Getting Things Done inbox. This is a printable in my shop. I have my goals section next. And in here, I have my DIY goals pages with my annual and quarterly pages all set up and ready to go. Next, we have my productivity section. And in here, I have my master to-do list or my master weekly schedule. It's kind of like an idealized schedule that I can adjust as needed when my life changes. So I have that in here, and I have plans to add a couple more routines on this insert when I find the time. So the place we're going to be living in for this video is the schedule section. So this is the 4th tab. And then in here, I have at the very front, my yearly planner. I'm using inserts pretty much throughout from my shop. At the front, we have a year glance. And then we also have my future log, which I use to kind of map out the entire year. Basically, I put anything that comes in to this section first, and then I move it into my monthly and weekly sections. After that, I also have 3 more tabs in this year planner, which includes my work schedule, my annual Etsy sales. So every day I track what my sales were for the previous day, and then my monthly budget sheets. So all of those have kind of sensitive information, and I have those paper clipped together or binder clipped together so I don't accidentally flip to it. I also have my friction pen, which is one of my primary pens that I use in this planner. This whole time I've been off center. Let me center this up. I have this friction pen, and then I also have this DIY pen loop that I made. Next, we have my agenda planner. So we'll start here going through February. The very first part of this planner is my monthly spread. And you will notice that all of the monthly pages in this planner are themed in the same way. So I set it all up at once, and then I use it throughout the month as is. So basically using this like you would a normal planner, I have dates, appointments, things like that in here. Then on the next spread, I have my goals pages. So I have my monthly goals mapped out, and then I also have the weekly tasks related to those goals, as well as anything else that's kind of important to my work schedule that I have in here. So this again is laid out with the same theme. Next, we're into my weekly pages, and here I am using my hourly dashboard lined layout from a shop. I have a hourly schedule on one side, and then I have like a dashboard, Happy Planner style layer on this side. So it's like I get 2 weeks at once. I basically try to put all of my to-dos, events, appointments on this side, and then I map it out here in a time blocking manner, trying to organize my day and get all the things done. So it just helps me manage my time a little better, and I love seeing them side by side because I get kind of the what needs to be done and how I'm going to do it together as one. My process for this setup is I usually will do the weeklies individually. So this theme I did kind of like a Bridgerton style theme, because I think this was the week that the season 4 premiere came out. And I really liked how this turned out with the flow. Next we have I think this was Valentine's week. So I'm not a huge Valentine's Day person. I ended up using these florals, which were pretty Valentine's-y, and then added some small hearts with a marker just to bring up that kind of Valentine's feel and some heart quotes. But that was basically it. I don't have many plan with me's on my weeklies these days. So again, if you see anything you want more information on, just let me know in the comments. This week, I decided to do a spread with the Spread Unity hashtag that's going around on the planner community of Instagram. I didn't have a ton of stickers, but I did find this book that I thought kind of fit the bill. It's not a perfect match for the theme, but you can kind of see the tie-in. So I really like how this turned out. I've had that book for a while in my stash, and I just haven't really been drawn to it until I saw that post, and I thought that would be a perfect way to kind of state my political views without stating them, if you know what I mean. So anyway, this is how it turned out. The final spread for the month is this one here, and I just kind of was ready to start easing into some florals, but I didn't want to go full floral on this one. Tied it in with some darker colors to keep a little bit of a winter feel to it, so it's not so springy. I really loved this color scheme, actually, and this is basically how it turned out. I really liked it. The last spread in this section is my month overview. Here I have a monthly to-do list, some habits that I'm tracking. I have my social media schedule with YouTube videos underneath this sticky note, and then my Instagram reel ideas. And I basically just cross these off as the month progresses. And then on the back, I track my social stats as well. All of those pages, as you can see, are themed out in the same way. So that is it for February. I'm going to quickly grab these out. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead here. At the back of the agenda planner, I also share a tab here with my monthly cleaning schedule, which I did re-laminate. It was originally in a matte laminated pocket, and I re-laminated it with glossy because the matte was not working. However, it did not do a very good job of laminating. It's kind of like floating in there, but I didn't want to remake it. So anyway, it is re-laminated, and I can at least use it and wipe it clean every month as I intended. So I have that. Again, it shares a tab because it's part of my tab system. I just want to make sure that I'm looking at it at least once a day. Okay, so next we're going into the health planner. And at the front, I have an annual page here with my measurements and body stats, basically, that I'm going to skip over. And then I also have a workout schedule. So we're going to jump to the first February page, which is Health Monthly. And in here, I'm tracking basically my workouts, my total calories and protein, and my food log each day. This little star is because I've been having a new fun thing called sciatica. And so I've been tracking how I've been feeling with that. And then I also have been tracking my weekly volume since I've been trying to lift more, do more strength training, heavy lifting. And so this is where I keep it. This planner I set up with a little bit of theming, but I do it really quick, so it's not very good. It's usually just throwing some stickers down and not really paying too much attention, so I don't do any plan with me's on these setups. So the next tab is my health overview tab. Here I have a couple of custom pages, one with some habit trackers, my intended lift plan for the month. I also have my step tracker over here with my daily steps and my goal of reaching 10,000 steps. So I can just kind of see how I did throughout the month. The weekly pages are designed individually here, and for this one, I decided to try to refocus in on my nutrition, and it did kind of like a healthy fruits and vegetables theme, semi-rainbow, more like a gradient. I thought this actually turned out pretty cute. Really liked the little grocery bags tied in. Next, we have this one, which was a fantasy reads theme. Although I realized after I was done, it was really kind of hard to see the stickers behind these washi tapes, but I wanted to add a little something extra to the spread with the washi. Yeah, I'm not sure if that really came through. I'm pretty sure there was a plan with me on this if you want to see how I set it up. A couple of things to note: I track on these health weeklies my workouts, my food log, and my stats for the day off of my Apple Watch. The next spread was a plant-based spread. I was just kind of going through my sticker books, trying to use up some things that were probably not going to be used up if I didn't do it right now in this kind of in-between transitional time. So we did plants. I also have this quote, which I thought was really cute, that said, "If only sarcasm burned calories, that would be awesome." So anyway, I just thought I'd call that out. But a simple green spread, and I liked it. And then this one was really fun and vibrant. I did a rainbow spread with some florals. Again, just kind of tracking all those same things. This one I think was a pretty one to be in. At the back, we have my health overview spread. This is where I track my meds and supplements that I'm taking, as well as any health symptoms that I'm having throughout the day. This is a combination of a couple of inserts in my shop, just made for me specifically since I didn't want to track too much, but I wanted to have some information here at hand. So that's my health planner. Let's go ahead and get that out and jump to the back of my health planner. On this back page, I have my body weight tracker, which is on the front, which I'm going to keep hidden. And then on the back, I have my monthly health stats, which is just an overview of my health stats in a monthly format with monthly totals and daily averages. It's kind of like to see how I'm doing month to month to see if I'm progressing or not, as was the case in February. So my last planner here in this section is my faith planner. The first spread in here is my monthly spread. And I use this spread to track my Bible in a year daily plan and the verses that I ended up reading. I do theme out this entire planner all at once with all of the pages, including the weeklies, in one theme. And I do a setup video if you want to see how I go about that. The next spread is my faith overview spread. Here I have some habits that I like to track, my prayer list for the month, and then I have this area for kind of spiritual reflection for the month so that I can look back and see how I was doing with my spiritual life. And that is pretty much it for this spread. Then on the weeklies, I'm using a quadrant layout from my shop. In this section, I am creating a Bible lettering from the verse of the day that populates into my Bible app. So I do have a lettering series if you kind of want to know more about how I approach this, but this was the very first week and how all of my lettering turned out. Did miss a day here on the second week, but for the most part, I kept up pretty well this month. Here is the third week. This one actually turned out really good. I was happy with that one. And then we have my fourth week. And that's pretty much it. I don't do anything with the back page at this time, but there is one more section at the back of my faith planner, which is my memory monthly. So I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead to that. So that is the fourth tab in that section. It kind of stands alone, separate from the faith planner, but I do like to have it all together with the tabs, so I make sure to write in it and check it every day. And in here, I keep my winter bucket list. I'm pretty much done, I think, with it for February. Now that February is over and I need to create a new one for spring. but it basically just lives in here, kind of cute. And I have a setup video if you kind of want to see how I make these bucket lists, but they're super fun and just nice to get some ideas for fun activities. Inside here, we have a monthly spread, which I use to track a memory or highlight each day. I usually will stick with one pen, a marker color, and that's pretty much it. I do decorate this page and the back of it all at once, and one video if you want to see how I set this one up. And on the back, like I mentioned, there is a currently page where I track my reading or what I'm eating, what I'm watching usually, and then a couple other things, some highlights, and review that at my leisure. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out separately since we're done with this, and I'm going to add it with its bucket list. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and jump to the last part of this planner, which is my 2 tabs here. I have my reference section, and in here we have all of my long-term storage tabs. One thing I will also mention before I move on, I have a 4-color friction pen as well. So I have one with a 0.5 tip, and then all of the colors in my 4-color pen are 0.35 or 3.8 maybe. But a smaller tip. I like having a little bit of a smaller size available to me for this planner, being a half letter. I think it just fits better most of the time in this setup. Back to this, so we have my reference section. In here I have my 4 tabs of long-term storage, personal, business, work, and social. So that's just where I keep any notes or things I might need to reference for future use in those categories. And then my very last tab is my common placing tab. This is my running list of all the things I want to remember, reference items. And I started this in a separate planner that was an A5 or a separate notebook. And it is just slightly larger as far as wide, but a little bit smaller in height than the half letter. I didn't want to cut the pages down, so I decided just to leave them in here at size, and they fit. It's just not, it's not perfection. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I do like the idea of having it being to size. So we'll see where we go with this, but this is where I'm keeping it, and I try to add reference materials that I want to remember in here when I can, but it has been a little bit of a challenge lately. The last thing back here is one more pocket folder. So this one is made with cardstock versus being all clear. And so it just gives me a place to hold some things. I have a pocket up here and a pocket here. So it's a really cool little DIY. And if you want to know more about how I made that, do check the video description. There should be a link to that video down below. I also have some note paper here at the back and my back cover. So that's pretty much it, friends. All of my After the Pen spreads from February. Hope you guys enjoyed this slightly faster, quick flip through and planner setup review. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.